Let's move on to the Unibet Champion Hurdle, and obviously one of the highlights of the week. Patrick, again, it's going to come to you because obviously Beauverdare is a very warm order favourite here, but so much is going to be spoken and written about Faugheen, the build up to this. You've got Yorkhill as well, who 60-40 he runs in this. So how are things at the moment? If all goes to plan for the next 8 days, who lines up in here for you?
All is good. I mean, Faugheen has been fine at home all season, and that's why we're scratching our heads so much. We don't know why he's been so below par on the track. I mean, his first run back, the Morgiana, looked like the Faugheen of old. So we know the ability's not there. He hasn't got old since November. You know, people are saying he's 10 now. He is 10, but like Hurricane Fly was able to beat good horses when he was 10 and 11.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, we can't find anything obvious. We've changed a few little things at home, a little like Nicholas Canyon last year, and we're hoping that might just spark him up a bit. We're hoping just going back to Cheltenham might spark him up a bit. So he's in great form. Yorkhill schooled very well over hurdles the other day on the Curragh. So, you know, we have the option of the Champion Hurdle and the Ryanair. You know, he's won twice over 2.5 at the festival, but both times he's turned in pulling a roller. You know, he's...
If you had the choice, which would you run him, in the Ryanair or the Champion Hurdle?
Oh.
If it was up to you.
Here, do a quick scan on the panel. Which would you run? Yorkhill, Ryanair or Champion Hurdle?
The Champion Hurdle.
Richie?
Ryanair.
Ryanair.
I'd ask Willie.
And Paul?
On his 2 runs this year, it doesn't really matter, does it? No.
Patrick, back to the argument.
So look, we know, so Yorkhill, again, the ability's there, and the 2 runs have just not worked out for whatever reason, but David Casey just thinks in the last 2 weeks he's in better form than he's been all through the season. Obviously then we have Wicklow Brave is there. I think he'd have a great chance, of a great each way chance. Again, the better the ground, the better his chance. The softer ground, probably the less of his chance. And Mellon, I think a 10-1 is a great bet because we put the hood on the last day and it backfired. He just never travelled, never went a yard. You know, so we'll probably take the hood off, and he's the horse who has the potential to improve. You know, improve past the likes of probably Wicklow Brave and, you know, Faugheen and Yorkhill are in and out of form. Whereas Mellon at 10-1 could be a great each way bet.
From a betting perspective, Paul, I mean, Beauverdare here is long as one looking to back up in a Champion Hurdle. Is there any opposing him, or is there an each way bet against him?
Well, opposing him, you know, when it comes to short prices, I always want to oppose everything, and I routinely do, even if it's only small bets. You know, the only reason I can see Beauverdare getting beaten is if he's forgotten how to race. Because obviously he ran in 2 Grade 1s at the start of the season. They were just very weak Grade 1s, and then he ran in the Mickey race at Sandown that really shouldn't be in the calendar. 16-1 on, you know, I'd love to have seen him go over to the Irish Champion Hurdle, but obviously Cheltenham, be all and end all. That's what he did, but you know, he actually had to get shaken up to beat John Constable, and it's almost because he'd forgotten what to do. And you know, obviously these competitors are going to be a lot more difficult for him to beat than those. He did win a very good Champion Hurdle, as it seemed last year. That, you know, there's some top class chasers come out of it. So you know, he's obviously the one to beat. But I've backed Wicklow Brave with and without the favourite each way. He's, you know, last year he was, you know, a massive price, and he missed the break at the start, and he cantered through the race, and he was going as well as anything. 2 out. He actually traded 3-1 in running, I think. You know, and you know, it's if he behaves himself. You know, he obviously came out afterwards and won at Punchestown. Are you riding him, Patrick?
I would love to ride him. yeah, I don't know yet, but I would love to ride him.
Because he got a blinder from Patrick at Punchestown when I backed him there. And he's just a very talented horse. You've got to remember, he's a Group 1 winner on the flat. He actually ran better in the Melbourne Cup this year than he had last year. And you know, I think he's got as much talent as most of the others in there outside of Beauverdare at this stage of their careers. Because obviously, Faugheen, I don't think is as good as he was.
Yeah, fair enough. Nicola, is there any sort of each way liabilities here against obviously Beauverdare?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as everyone said, it's very hard to oppose Beauverdare. You know, he's been unbeaten for so long. He's 4-9, but that price is too skinny for most punters. So, and I think behind Beauverdare, the race looks a bit thin. So, Wicklow Brave has been the each way gamble in this race. You know, he has a good Cheltenham profile and travels really well. So, Wicklow Brave's in there at 14-1. So, it looks like a very nice each way bet, I think.
Good stuff.
20-1 if I'm on him as well. So I'd wait.
Richie, is there any there's no opposing Beauverdare here, is there?
No, but what I would say about Yorkhill is I think he'll surprise people. I don't think he'll run nearly as bad as he has done the first 2 times this season. I think the 3 miler at Christmas was a big ask for a horse with his temperament first time out. I thought, you know, he was always going to be free, and he was. And 2 miles the last, it just clearly didn't suit him. So I would expect he'll come in a little bit under the radar wherever he goes, and they'll bury him in, they'll settle him, and he'll pick up the pieces whichever race he runs in, I think. Bouvedere, I'd be a massive fan of him. I think he's a little bit underestimated. Maybe mad saying that about a 4-9 shot, but I don't think he's got the credit he deserves. I think he won. He beat a proper yardstick in my 10 Euros last year, and I wouldn't be worried about him maybe being shaken up the last day. I think he's a proper horse. The thing I'd say about Faheen, Patrick mentioned how Hurricane Fly kept doing it at 10. He did, but at that point he hadn't had 2 years off, which this fella had up to November. They got him up to a certain level for November, and I think it's taken a little bit of a toll on him since. I can't see him winning a champion hurdle at this stage. Yeah,
fair. Gavin, can you see Faheen doing it, or can you see Bouvedere being beaten?
Not really. There's only 3 horses that have the ability to win this race. Is York Hill, Faheen and Bouvedere, and should 2 of them you can't have really. Faheen possibly will be second because great run in the Morgiana, then he fell apart at Christmas. The last day was halfway back to what he was, so if he improves again, he may be second. As Paul says, Bouvedere may have forgotten how to race. He's been 1-6, 2-11 and 1-16, so he's had nothing to do this year. It was interesting, this time last year, Nicky was worried would the ground be soft enough for Bouvedere. He was really worried at the time, so he should have no worries this year. So he may be 4-6, 4-7 on the day again. They might drift on the morning of the race, but it's impossible to look past him.
Would you give my 10 Euros now a place squeak for this?
Well, you can't say no, can you? I mean, second.
You surely get
beaten 4 times, isn't it? Yeah, you will do. Although he might be, each way punters who've been there year in year out and keep seeing him, he might be in the forecast, etc. Like he's a very talented horse. He's a
fantastic horse.
He actually won for the first time since he won a jumpers bumper in about 2014, I think it was. Yeah. When he won the international. Yeah, he's going to be thereabouts at the last. Definitely.
He's always ridden to place ultimately as well, isn't he? I mean, they drop him in.
Drop him in.
But he doesn't get the credit he deserves, does he? Is he second in 3 champion hurdles?
Yeah. The modern day theatre world.
Yeah.
No, it's such a good race. So